Hey everyone, welcome back to Unsealed and Revealed. I'm your host, Terry Smith, and we're ready to start the show, man. We were scheduled to do the Aragorn Sixth Scale Figure by Asmus Toys, but we've opted instead to go with something else, which is kind of explains why it took us so long to get the show started. Guy has a parasite. It's true, yeah.
Well,
Apart from that, how you feeling over there, Guy?
well, it's not. It's the parasite is called Breakfast Taco Tuesday, and
Ah,
that's why I was running late. So, but
yeah.
no, I am doing spectacular, and I'm really excited to show this off. He's loved by everybody, so this is a really incredible piece. Lots to talk
Awesome,
about.
awesome. Yeah, and also hanging out with us today in the Sideshow Dungeons, as always, is my buddy Paul. He's got looks like he's got into Parasite himself. That's kind of being a little inappropriate with his ear right now. Hey,
Oh,
Paul.
yeah. They're headphones, Terry.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
It's kind of
Yeah,
back
that
of the head.
symbiote guy, we told you, avoid the Cymburrito at all
the
possible
sim-
terms.
the
It's
Simburrito.
so good though with the special
Oh,
sauce,
but
that
oh,
green special sauce, right?
Yeah.
it was phenomenal.
I can't believe
Oh, all right. Coming in hot. Hey, everyone. Happy to be here. We are live on YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, and Facebook. Of course, wherever you are, like, comment, subscribe, because every time you like this video, Venom grows another tooth. And dentists hate him, but we love him. So please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss any of these videos. We've actually got a lot of really great Unsealeds coming up, and a lot of great content on our YouTube channel. So happy to be here. If you guys have any questions about this Venom figure, which I'm sure you will, let me know in the comments and I'll relay them to Guy and Terry.
Yeah, and while we're speaking of upcoming shows for Unsealed and Revealed, this coming Thursday we have a bonus episode of Unsealed and Revealed in which we will be staying with the symbiote theme and unsealing and revealing the Venomized Groot figure, life-size figure by Hot Toys. Then I'm just going to go ahead and cut to the chase, let you know that next Tuesday at this point in time we are going to be unsealing and revealing Professor Hulk. That's right, the Hulk from Avengers Endgame. I'm really looking forward to that. So now that you have all that information, we're all good to go here. Guy, I'm going to encourage you to just dive right into your symbiote and tell us more about it.
All
Not
right,
too
all
much,
right.
though.
First up, let's take a look at just how large the box is. And I will be pulling out a standard 12-inch 6-scale figure later on so you can see these side by side. Incredible gloss on there that makes sense, of course, for this character. As you can see, the light reflecting off there. You also see there's some die cut holes that are going to show you the underside of the box. This is wraparound art that we see going all the way around.
beautiful.
I want you to see in the front though, and we're going to have Michael do a shot. There we go. Is as I lift this up, here's what I want you to see is that eye is a translucent piece of plastic.
Nifty.
So the light goes through it. It's just a little bit of extra that you're seeing there. So I really dig on that. So that's just kind of a neat thing. Very
Venom
rarely,
being all extra.
yeah, very rarely do we talk about how to open this particular box. I know you and I have always said, oh, do you open from the top or the bottom? This is going to be a little different, and this is why I want to talk about this. So we're going to see that it is wraparound. You have some raised lettering with some of the we statements, of course, that he does, going all the way around, like so. It's also a window box. Now this window box, when I open it, I'm going to pull it back here. The inside on this side is going to have all the tendrils.
Quigglies.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yes. Now you'll notice though that is raised, okay? And it slides into here. The reason I bring that up is you're going to have this open before you're going to be able to slide that tray out. If you're trying to slide the tray from the bottom, you're going to keep bonking it. You're not going to know why
It's
it's
a
not
secret
coming
block.
out. It creates a single block. So lay it down on a flat surface. There will be 4 bits of tape holding it in place. Okay, and they also tab in the 4 corners. There you see a little bit more embossing there. Now I'm going to take the figure out on the bottom. So yes, when I first, my goodness, how is this figure stuck? And it is that. So you want to make sure that you remove
Well, that's a
that.
hot tip, Guy. Thanks. Yeah.
Not often do
That
I
would've been
show
very
how
frustrating.
do you unbox on that. That is not in the instructions that are inside the figure. You don't get to the instructions until you open it. So, all right, in our top tray, and this of course is massive, we are going to have our figure, his additional hands, the other portrait, the 2 additional tongues, and in the bottom of the tray, right between the legs, is a little tab. And in it are going to be 3 of the pieces that cover the back that are going to cover the holes. If you saw the episode we did on Venom Pool, you got to see how they hide the places in which the tendrils will be. And that's done very much the same way here. I'm going to quickly keep going so we can get these out. The lower tray, you are going to have large bits, okay? The extending hand, his sickle, the sword, the display stand, as well as the display rod. That is done in a crystal color. Locks on like so. And then we have our traditional grabber, okay? You're gonna need a small screwdriver for that, and we'll do that a little bit later on that. All right, so why don't we stand the figure up, do a quick 360, and talk all about it. This is a massive, massive figure, but I want you to take him in. First up, just how glossy that is. Okay, this is a...
Whoa, look at him.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? He's really, really neat. Getting that gloss is done probably in a number of different paint techniques, but as well as this is a full rubberized skin over it. The only areas that don't have that kind of rubberized thing are going to be the hands, feet, and head. Okay? We're going to talk about all the articulation points. I'm going to have Michael do a quick top to bottom on this. We're going to talk about it, and then we'll talk about articulation and how he moves. And then, Terry, my favorite part is getting to see you pose. You've got the vein.
Now we know.
The vein going in it. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the show.
Can I just say I love the way that they designed this guy so that his head, he's got this gigantic torso, these super long legs, but his head is just normal sized. It accentuates that alien nature of him.
Exactly.
It's very, very cool. Go on, go on, please.
Exactly. Let's take a look down. You can see how it catches the light, okay? Because it does have that glossy symbiote look to it. There are the additional hands and all. And that gloss goes all over. It doesn't have areas that are matte or flat. We're going to go up to the portrait here because I want to show that off and then go into a little bit more with it. But if you see the close-up on the portrait, the incredible look of the teeth on there. Okay, these guys are nasty looking. Now, this is the closed mouth portrait on that one there.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas.
Yes.
So many tasty bits.
Now, I like the eyes a lot. I talked about it in the slipcover that goes over it, how I like that around the white is that kind of gradient gray, and it really gives it a lot of depth, okay? The next thing that's important about the head, and this goes into articulation, is that we've seen this design by Hot Toys before, where the entire top part is a magnet. The lower inside is the connection magnet, and they do put a little bit of foam on there. That's going to allow you to not have to worry about damaging, scratching, or tearing that rubberized skin that is over it. Okay? We'll talk more about articulation, how you can do it, but the neat part is you're really, really not hindered. I want to look way high up. Fantastic.
That's good.
I want to look down. I can do this. But they are, and I want to show this without it on there, you do have, and I'm going to be quiet now.
Ooh, that's going to come in handy.
Exactly. A 2-click ratchet. I put the head looking down there, and I almost get a chin to chest.
Wow, very, very cool. And
Okay.
yeah, you can also use that to really put on like a business face because he has no pupils. You can leave it
Correct.
to your imagination to determine which direction he's actually looking in. That's going to be really beneficial later on in the show.
Exactly. It's really, really neat that they've allowed
Spoiler
that.
alert.
Since we have it there on a kind of a close-up of that area, I am going to spin around the back here so you can see those 3 pegs.
Oh,
Okay? And those 3 pegs are where you're going to attach the symbiote tendrils
okay.
on there. And there are 3 little caps.
Okay, I was going to ask.
There are 3
right, cool.
caps that are going to cover it if you don't want them on there. They are, you will not put the wrong one in the wrong spot. There's only one way that they'll go. The one has a divot in the middle. That's going to be for right there along the spine. And the other 2 match up the lines on there, and you'll be able to see what that is.
Okay.
On there.
Okay, cool.
So let's take a look now that we've got it on the back. You see, again, incredible musculature on there. I'm going to hit this with a little uplight here.
I have that too.
Yep. To really, yeah. This is, I believe, Terry. The back part is yours, and I think the shoulder was Paul's. They sent in photos of Paul's shoulder.
Paul's got the traps.
Yeah, exactly. But really great musculature in there. I did do the uplight because I wanted you to see kind of how it catches the light and how you can see all of those individual muscles. This is the type of thing, Joshy G would appreciate the musculature on that. But you can also see the sleek quality that is on there. Okay, there's really not a lot of joints for you to be able to see. There is around the wrists, around the ankles. Right up at the hip, that connection point, and then again on the shoulder. But other than that, all of our joints are hidden. They're all hidden inside. We're going to start to work on those as well right now. So let's take a look and get to it. I'm going to spin it around to the front for you to see. We did talk about that head and that additional articulation and how you can do anything with it. I like the idea of being able to remove this very quickly and easily in the magnet, putting it on there. If I'm going to be doing an intense pose or something that Terry and I'll do here, when I have the open mouth version with the 3 options for the tongue, I'm going to kind of set that off to the side. Once I've got it in the pose I want, then I'll kind of drop the head on and then adjust that as well.
It looks so good.
So let's take a look. As I said, it is a soft material. However, it is very tightly on there, particularly in the chest area.
Don't let him hear you say that, Guy. Don't let him hear you say that.
He's a softie. All right. We've got about 90 straight up on there.
Okay.
You hear that that's all ratchet on there. We, of course, could go all the way around, giving us that. But while we've got it there, I want to show it does have a turn here in the bicep. Not a full bicep cut, but it does have a turn. You do have a small twist in it, in the bicep as well. Now, this does not have a butterfly joint up here because, again, that was kind of probably my bet is that would kind of smash things around. But having just that little bit of extra is very, very nice. So you are going to have some good range of motion. Here's some neat range of motion and articulation that I liked a lot, and that is in the midsection here, Terry's favorite. It's hard to know exactly how it's done because you're not seeing the joints, but I feel that it's kind of a ball joint as well as a bit of a pendulum here because you're going to hear me clicking there as I turn to the side.
Okay, that's interesting because I was thinking that it might be like it is on the Hulk figure, but that's not the vibe that I'm getting by what I'm seeing here. This looks like it's unique.
When I'm holding here, you almost feel that it again also kind of does those little ratchets to the side, like so. But we also get good ones toward the back. Okay. Quite a few toward the front.
Wow.
As well. And then having particularly with something like this, with that skin over it, you'd hate to get this go past the point and damage the figure. And by doing it all in the ratchet joints, that's a nice safety feature. That I'm not going to overextend. I'm only going to go to where the ratchet are, and then I'm done, and it pulls back. So you do have a bit of twist there. Next, down into the hip. This is one of the only places where we see that joint. We also saw it up here. Now the leg, again, you're hearing ratchet, turning to the side again a little bit like we saw up here. This, like the Iron Man figures normally have 1 or 2 where you can pull down and get a little more range. This does a single drop down on it. Okay, so we see there's, and the nice part is it doesn't make a huge gap. Okay, that's down.
So when you do that, Guy, how much range of motion does that get you in the legs and in his thighs?
Let's take a look at that. What I'm going to do, Terry, probably to try and show that off is do some to the front and some to the side to show that off. So this is to the side, me not extending those at all, but getting a lot of bend.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, look at that.
He does do a lot of bend. Now
that's way closer to a split than I can do.
Exactly. you're going to
even
go
without extending my joints. So.
a little further, popping down. I can almost fully split him out.
That just hurts to look at.
That hurts to look at, but
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm
as
glad
you
that he
see,
can do
he
it.
gets huge range of motion. But what I like about that is that it's, even though you're getting that huge range of motion that way, it's not really leaving huge gaps or anything like that. Okay, I've got a straight out to the front on the leg there. You know what? I'm going to remove that leg so you can see that. This is your large peg that you have there. And you'll see that this drops down.
Okay, yeah.
And lifts
exposing
up.
his ball joints.
So you're also going to,
Cool.
yeah, you have that range. But the reason I'm doing it that way is for you to see that this is the rubberized part. Unlike an Iron Man where there are the plastic pieces and you're moving them out of the way, you don't have to move them out of the way with this. It's a rubberized skin. Okay, so it's not like I'm having to lift that at all.
I see. Yeah.
All right, just a little extra thing like that. Pops right in. I love when the joints just punk and they're popping right on there. Set turn to the side. Now let's talk a couple more range of motion parts on that as far as how far back can the leg go.
That's crucial.
Okay, got about
Kind of crucial for what I have in mind too. So
got about a 30 on that. Okay.
yeah, I'll give that a 30.
On that one there. Now let's go to the knee. Ratchet like crazy, and it's going to ratchet to a 90. All right, it's going to ratchet to the 90, and the elbow is also ratchet to the 90. These are not a double joint. These are a 90-degree bend, and that's because doing a double like that, you would obviously rip the cover.
Now, when you bend that knee to 90 like that, Guy, do you notice is it creating any tension there on the material on the front of the knee, or does it seem
on the front
like
of the
it's
knee? Okay, right here I'm holding the knee, and it's not feeling like it's snug up against there. I'm now dropping it down,
comforting.
and when I do it, it's not like this is baggy or feels like it's kind of hanging it or removed.
That's good to know. That's
Okay.
a common question that we get from the audience when we're doing figures like this with a softer material that's covered in an endoskeleton. So that's a good thing to know. That gives me a lot of confidence for those 90-degree poses, leaving them over long periods of time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not feeling a lot of stress in there. That's the other reason I wanted to show the hip and remove that and show that was I didn't want people to think that it was really thin and you're going to have to worry about damage or anything like that. So, I can really push that leg, and it just does get out of the way. That element.
There's a question from a singer-songwriter over on YouTube. Does Guy or Terry have any suggestions how we would take care of the body? Anything in the instructions for cleaning or preserving the rubber skin?
Okay.
You would be able to answer if there was anything in the instructions.
Correct.
But I think if you want to go first.
As far as I'm only going to answer the instruction aspect. As far as a care element, the only thing this is going to say is what they'll say about almost all of their figures, and that is, keep them out of large temperature change. Growing up in Michigan, I probably wouldn't take this guy out in February and goof around on the ice. Nor would I here in Southern California on 100-degree summer days take him out and goof around with him. But as far as a product that you put on it or anything like that, I don't do anything like that. You do your standard dusting if you have him exposed, or if you have him in a case or something like that. You usually don't have to worry at all. So your thoughts on that?
I have sincerely rarely had an issue with any sort of artificial skin on any of my figures, and I don't know if that's. I don't know. I haven't conducted any scientific experiments with them. I don't have. Who's got time for that? But my experience has been that because I keep my stuff in climate-controlled environments, I never expose them to sunlight or extreme variations in heat or cold. I pretty much keep everything at a steady temperature, climate-controlled all year round in my place. Therefore, I've never had any issues with it.
Right.
I'm legitimately racking my brain right now, trying to think of any figure that I've owned that has had any flaking issues or cracks in the material or anything like that. And I can't think of a single one that I've had that sort of an issue with. And my guess is that apart from being extremely lucky because I'm a pretty prolific purchaser of figures. That's some great consonants right there. But it can't be luck. It's got to have something to do with the climate and the condition that I keep them in. And I mean, I do put my hands on them a lot too. So I mean, there's fingers, oils from my fingertips that are going to get on them, and I still have never had an issue. So apart from that, I don't know what to say. I do know that there have been some people who have talked about like a material, like some sort of a substance that you can put onto the material to preserve it. I'm leery of things like that.
Yeah.
I've known of people who've done something like that, put a silicone-based material onto another material in order to soften it up, make it more supple, what have you. And over time, that wound up having the reverse effect. It actually caused more damage than it cured. So I'm leery of it. If somebody else has an answer out there, feel free to leave it in the comments. Feel free to hit me up and let me know what it is. But like I said, I've never had need for it.
I agree with that. I don't add extra things on the leathers or rubberized skins or anything like that. I'm pretty sure that we take pretty good care of them as long as you're doing that, and
You got it.
you're good. If we do a close-up here, I've just temporarily set them in. I have not pushed them all the way in, but there you can see what the back, like well, you can't even tell that I haven't pushed them all the way in, but there you can see when you put in those pegs and how that covers those holes. So you've got one here, and the two on the sides. I've got one right there. You can see that how they line up.
Are you guys hitting it with the black light? Because that looks glorious.
Nope, there is absolutely no black light going on today.
That's just a blue gelled light or something?
Yep. But there
Okay.
you go. So there's those three pegs, and we're, of course, probably going to use those. Pretty sure Terry's going to want me to use them. Michael, if you could pan the camera down a little bit more now. We talked about that 90-degree bend, but we didn't talk about... Go on, Terry. I'm waiting for you.
Tread watch.
There we are. There we are.
Tread watch.
Yes. We are Tread watch. Okay, and we got a barefoot Tread watch on here. You do see that he has the high arch there and such. By being a barefoot thing like that, we don't have any grooves or traction marks or anything like that. So keep that in mind when you're posing, or what type of surface you're going to be setting him on. Okay, that this doesn't have any rubberized coating. This is a plastic part. So unlike here where the rubber would kind of have a natural friction, this really isn't going to have that. So be aware of that. We do have a ball joint bend there.
Speaking of that hard plastic versus soft rubberized stuff, Guy, what's your impressions when you're actually putting your fingers on Venom's skin? Is it what's the texture like? Is it smooth? Does it glide right over? Is it sticky? Does your finger want to adhere to it?
All right.
Describe that.
Lots of great questions. Not sticky. I'm not, adhered to it, which would actually be in character if it stuck to me.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
That would actually be fine. But no, there's no tackiness or residue like that. Any feeling like that. It is pretty tight on here, particularly when you see if I'm trying to push around an area like the bicep here. You'll see that that's not squishing or going in. That we've seen sometimes on some other bodies of figures, but it feels nice and tight on there. Right here on a bend point, I know that there is give, but this doesn't feel weird or anything like that, which I think is your question. Is like, does it feel weird? It doesn't. It feels pretty darn cool.
Awesome.
Which is what it is. So. I know we're going to jump into posing really quick, so the next thing to do is take a look at the accessories that he is going to come with.
Oh, yes, please.
We're going to start with some big stuff and work our way down. Symbiote sickle. This thing has to be...
My favorite? Yes, it is. It actually is my favorite. Thank you very much.
This is 30 centimeters from end to end on this. The connection point on
That's a lot of centimeters.
Yep, on this one here, as well as the extended attack hand, are snap-in ball joints that you're going to have on your wrist peg. Okay.
Are they limited to which side you can use them on? Can they switch? Can they swap out between left and right hands?
You know, let's take a look at the way in which they connect there. Terry, I'm going to say we can try it on both. It does not show in any instruction thing that I have to use it on a right or a left. I have a feeling this is Poser's Choice.
I love Poser's Choice. It's my favorite game.
Exactly. I got to go home with the home prez, with the home game once.
Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So right here, this particular one, both of these are solid. Okay. This one here, it doesn't have a wire for articulation and anything like that. So the large extended part, pretty solid. Here is going to be the softer. And these are molded. However, they do have a bit of give. I do want to bring up, particularly when we pose, and if Terry chooses this one, this does have a bit of weight to it.
This one.
Okay, this does have a bit of weight to it. So definitely know that when you're trying to find your center of gravity and balance.
Okay.
With your figure, that's going to have a little bit more weight. Again, rocking another. Well, Terry, today's special number is 30. This is also 30 centimeters in length. That's neat. There's a little ruler down on the
I'm sensing a pattern.
And you do have a specialty hand for this one here.
Oh, cool.
You see with a light grip. The additional hands are the wild claw-like hands. All right.
Cool.
And then you have one of my favorites. I always like when they do a pointing. For him using his iPad.
Don't go there.
He uses his iPad.
He's got to enter key code somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
He can't rip all the doors off the hinges.
The face recognition does not work well with his phone.
Yeah.
Speaking of facial recognition,
so
this is a way we probably recognize Venom's face most of the time. In that open mouth, jowl gaping. Look at how the symbiote part kind of has that musculature underneath. Those teeth are spectacular. The eyes seem a little bit elongated. We have the tongue that is going to the right on this one here. Now, there's a peg there with magnets for doing the 3 different tongues. What this does mean is, of course, it's going to stay in there nice and solid, but this isn't really one you'd leave with the open mouth without a tongue attached.
Okay.
Okay, so I have that turn to the right. More of a straight extension.
Cool. And last but not least, which way do we go?
And a turn to the left. A turn to the left. And a turn to the right. Okay.
God,
I don't know. There's got to be a song.
I've totally got Time Warp in my head. That's the song I've got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's got to be a song somewhere in there. So that's those. And now let's get onto that tray that was underneath where I said you had to take that out separately. We are looking at the exclusive, the Sideshow exclusive, which is going to have an additional piece. I'm gonna first show off the addition.
That's a Sideshow exclusive?
Yep, this is a Sideshow exclusive.
All
This
right.
additional piece is going to be an open-mouthed little tendril guy.
Okay, those are fun.
Okay, we've got this guy here. If you've seen our other video, you see how these attach into the back like that. This is a softer rubber. Okay, this is a slightly different type connection than we have for the hands, where when we push it in, it's going to splay flat out on that. We'll show that one.
Man, I have no idea how to cosplay that.
Yeah.
None.
We've got our...
What would you use for that? Like a big pool noodle?
You know what? You could do that, or you could... Yeah, because you're going to have some shape. I would say a pool noodle, cover that in electrical tape to give it that gloss. And maybe a coat hanger in the middle of it to kind of give you a bend. So you're really reconstructing these.
Actually, I would probably go all in and do like a black garden hose, and run like a really thick bit of armature wire through it. That way you can just manipulate it, and hopefully that armature wire would be enough that it would help to maintain that required level of rigidity.
See, I thought you were going to talk about just turning the hose pressure on and it just wiggles and flips like the tendril, but which is another option.
All right, yeah.
Okay, all right, cool. Then you've got your closed mouth version as well. And all of these are going to attach that same way that we talked about.
All right.
You have, this is your largest of the three.
Dude.
Going to come with the mouth and 2 tendrils, all connected to 1 point.
Just a 1?
Mm-hmm. Just to 1 point. So again, when you're going to use something like this, know that that's going to put weight on that back area.
Yeah, it is.
Or if you're going to use that sickle, it's going to put weight on the front area. So again, this is all when you're doing that balance. It's another reason that what I will probably do when I do this is not have the head on when I'm doing it, particularly if I'm going to use like an open mouth thing. I don't want it to tumble over while I'm trying to get my center of gravity correct. And our last one is a double, okay, 2 tendril on the same post as well. Okay, so you got a 2 tendril, a triple tendril with face, and 2 individual tendril, one with closed mouth, one with open mouth. So you've got a lot of different options with that. And that concludes.
I'm already indecisive.
Yeah. That concludes, ladies and gentlemen, our accessory viewing for the moment.
Okay. Okay, so I have ideas for 2 poses.
Great.
Already. Okay, cool. And the first one is going to require just the grinning head.
Grinning head?
Yeah, we're going to definitely do at least the bladed arm on his right.
When you say bladed, you want the sickle or the sword?
I want the sickle, my friend.
You want the sickle.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You had asked whether it will key in to either side.
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Do you have a preference of how you'd like it?
I would like the right side. I would like the right.
You would like it on the right side, and
yeah, I think so.
You are all set. We are on the right-hand side.
Bitchin'.
Popped right in.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I am, of course, now that I've got it on there, I am feeling that additional weight on that side, but still holds up fine on his own. I have yet to have to pull out said stand, but I'll have that on the ready as well. Okay, now talk to me about what you'd like for our...
I'm kind of curious to see if we could do something with that crazy little extended finger hand that he's got on the left hand. I have something in mind. I want to see if that works. Yes, not the pointy finger, but the one with all the digits being really extended out.
Okay, the extended digit, yeah.
Yeah.
As I pointed out before, the only tool you're going to need on this at all is going to be just a tiny screwdriver for stand. So there we go. There are hands in there. Wow, even a museum pose. That sickle is so imposing that you put the tendrils on it back there, and you're all over the place. It's wild.
I see what you did there. Imposing. Good job, dude. Yeah.
Okay, so there are your 2 hands. You said that this is the head you've decided on.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll talk about that later. So at this point here, is this where you stand up?
I'm thinking this might be where I stand up. But I'm trying to determine if I like that sickle with the long part facing forward. I'm struggling with that because I feel like if he's swinging it, he's going to be stabbing with that, and if it's actually a sickle, then the long part is going to be trailing to the back.
Okay.
But that might just be
you would like me to try and invert it?
No, let's just start with it and see how it looks, and then we might have to make an adjustment later on down the line. So there I go.
There we go. Terry, what I did is just what you asked and put the longer end pointing downward. So that thing just...
No, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad. It was perfect the way it was before.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Sometimes I just have to see these things in person before I really know what it's supposed to do.
Well,
so thanks for indulging me there.
That's what I'm doing here.
All right, cool.
This is my project.
So here's what we're gonna do. I don't have really long fingers or anything that would actually help me to mimic long fingers. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to basically give you the pose. So for starters, with his feet, I want his right foot going forward, like he's walking. Mm-hmm. Okay, and yes, you may need the stand for this guy. I'm not sure.
We'll determine that afterward.
Right foot forward like he's walking, just a little bit. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's not moving really fast. He's just kind of stalking. Because I think Venom at least gets a little bit of pleasure out of terrifying his victims, at least a little bit. So he's going to be moving towards you just like this. His blade arm is going to be down here at his side and back behind his thighs, like way back.
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, it's going to be kind of like it's just like hanging down. And I'll show you how we're going to make that work later. You're going to twist his torso to the right almost as much as you can. And that's really how that's going to work. Instead of bringing the arm back, you'll have the arm at the side, and then you'll achieve that effect by twisting his torso, and that'll bring the arm back here.
Okay.
Okay? And then the other hand, while he's walking like this, is going to be reaching out and extending those tendrils forward. Following?
Yes.
We want to get his hips thrust forward as much as possible to get that curve that I like to get. So I'm just going to rotate myself a little bit this way, just so you can kind of get an idea what I'm after. It's supposed that I think it's pretty common in horror art. You'll see like zombies reaching that way, or like a mummy reaching that way. Okay, so let's make those adjustments.
Yes, because we haven't done the head or the height of hand, but this is our first in, and again without stand. I'm going to try and see how long we can do it without the stand. For the moment.
I think that with what I have in mind, you're definitely going to need that stand. So let's start by straightening that right arm all the way down.
The right, okay. Our sickle arm is straight.
Yeah, exactly. All right. And let's take that torso and twist it even further to the right. You got it all? Is that as far as it goes?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we got about a triple click.
Cool.
But we, of course,
good.
We also have the option, Terry, I'm not sure you're going to talk to me about that. By twisting there, if you want me to give the legs a twist as well, outward, does that...
Yeah, we've talked about doing that. That's one way to do it.
Create
Perfect. Good.
more of a twist there?
Good, I like it. Yeah, I like it.
I take notes.
All right. So now the feet are going to inform the direction that he's traveling, yet they're also going to inform the direction that his head is looking. So kind of turn that head so that it's looking in the exact direction that his toes are pointing. And I would tilt it down. Give it that business face, like he's looking at you from below his eyebrows.
Do you want me to do the... Okay, I've got that double click down.
Yeah, good.
On the neck. Cool. And then straight up.
And I don't know how high you can raise that arm to the front, but I would, it's a little bit low for what I was after. There you go. Now you're at it. Cool. Yeah, that's neat. Yeah. I think that's fine with the head, Guy.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. Let's also turn his head just a little bit more so that it can write down that arm, or if you can move the arm, like push it in, like rotate it inward towards the chest. Then
there we go. Rotate it in with that, as well as.
I'd be really surprised if you could, but apparently you can.
You can. Awesome. You can.
Yeah. All right. So if you could get him so that he's like looking over the top of the hand, that would be awesome. Is that cooperating?
Mm-hmm.
You look so intense, man.
I'm just getting...
You're focused. Your focus
yeah, I'm like
palpable.
Getting it at the angle that I'm thinking would be that. As that well as...
Reaching across the miles and through my monitor and piercing my brain. It is the very definition of palpable.
Terry,
there you go.
How'd I do with making him walk?
Step aside and let us see. That's awesome. Rotate him so that he's facing the camera. Yeah, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want that coming at you.
No. I had pulled down the leg to get a little more bend, so I just now popped it back up, doing a slight little clink. Since we're using the stand, put him in a little on the back toes.
And let's ever so slightly tilt his head, I think, towards the hand, to his left. Now, because now that took it too far out of the line of sight. You want to get that line of sight right over the. So if it won't tilt that way.
No, because of that magnet, we can do whatever you like. So you just got to tell me where to do it. So there
you go. That's good. That's
down
good.
Over slight angle.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man.
He is. Yeah. Wow. This is fun.
And I have never wanted to have a parasite so badly in my life.
And we didn't even attach any weird things. Did I hear Paul scream about a parasite?
No, that was me. That was
Oh.
on me. Yeah. And the camera cut to me right when I did it too, which totally destroyed the illusion. My timing on it could have been better. But all right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just for the heck of it, I'll do this for you. I'm gonna.
Yeah, not as effective.
Not as effective, but
No.
but again, you can see just how easy
Yeah, but
a
it's
swap
good to have
like that
options.
can be.
Yeah.
I
This is
like the
definitely
magnetic
pretty cool. Yeah.
the magnetic joint on there giving me a lot more. I mean, as I talked before about, you know, he wouldn't be doing that, but the looking down on a kid or the crazy looking up, you can do a ton with him.
Something that might be fun for anybody out there who would be curious to do it is that hand seems like it would be really cool to like take and place over the head of a potential victim. So if you wanted like a companion piece with him, just have Venom rest his clawed hands over the top of a victim's head with that thing back there like this and just grinning at him. That would be really something. I think might if I ever get my hands on this, I might play with it that way. But we'll see. Okay, so are we ready for pose number 2?
I brought a friend.
Oh, there's a friend. Awesome. Is there your friend of the arachnid variety?
He's a friend. He's a foe. He could be whomever. But I'm
Friendly foe? A friendly neighborhood foe? Maybe.
exactly
Perhaps?
friendly
Yeah.
neighborhood foe.
Oh, there you go, cracking myself up again. I gotta say that I think of all the trailers that we've seen all season long, one of the biggest delights for me in all of trailerdom for 2021 has been that moment in the Let There Be Carnage trailer when Venom shrinks back and into Eddie Brock when he first lays sight on Carnage, and it was just like, oh. And he's like, "What are you doing?" And then he just actually comes out and says, "If you come, I'll let you eat everybody." That's legitimately the funniest thing that I've seen in a trailer all week long. I even think that this is funny.
What
I'm seeing right here.
There you go. What I appreciated about the trailer is being from Detroit, we all grew up loving Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2. He's wearing the Mumford t-shirt and the Lions jacket. It's both Beverly Hills Cop movies are featured in there. So
Totally missed that. You brought that up to me on the phone the other day. And I was just like,
obviously we're playing a homage to a really good one. So
something's up.
yeah, so something is up. But
Instead
yeah,
of Eddie
you can
Brock, it's Eddie Murphy.
you can definitely get that over the head of a figure. So
Yeah.
and that, well, you know what? Since we have it there, why don't I just place him next to him, just so you can see the scale of what a 12-inch figure
Yeah,
is.
he's pretty massive. Very clearly, very big, very big.
Okay.
Wow.
I have Spider just standing pretty straight, museum-esque, and you see that comes to mid-chest.
What are we thinking? 14 inches on the height on Venom?
On the inches there, I'm going to say he's
Almost 15.
probably 14 to maybe even slightly under 14 and a half, maybe. I have the neck down, so if I were to extend and go up there, let's do a side one so you can see.
That's impressive.
This
That
reminds
puts
me of the
Venom
one where
pushing,
the
puts
cavemen
Venom
walking,
pushing
standing
people.
upright. It kind of has that the feel for me. A little chart. So,
All right, man. Let's.
but nonetheless, let's move this out of the way. 'Cause,
Yeah.
man, we haven't even done crazy tendril stuff and wacky mouth stuff. You got a lot. You got a lot going to do these.
Well, we're gonna go all in, my friend.
All right.
So brace yourself. This is gonna be accessory heavy.
Okay.
Literally accessory heavy.
Removing sickle hand.
I think we should remove sickle hand for this. Yeah.
Okay, removing
I
sickle
think
hand.
I don't know that we need maybe the sword. What does everybody think out there? I also think we need all the tendrils. All of them, Guy.
All of them.
Well,
Yeah.
now here's the nice part. There is an option for 3, but
Yeah.
you're given 4 if you get the exclusive. So I think because you want to go super tenderly, we're going to do
We're
our
gonna
triple.
go 3.
We're going to do our double. And you have your choice, closed mouth or open mouth, because also remember, on the main body of the figure, you're going to have another. So you could have 3 tongue going
Yeah.
with this guy.
Yes.
So what would you like for third arm?
I'm gonna go all tongue all the time, my friend.
Okay, there we go. Setting that one off to the side. along with some of our other accessories. All right, now let's, you'd asked, and so just to see what it looked like, there is our sword arm.
Yeah.
Try and get him back into neutral. He does pop right back into place as far as being able to move those joints around, being able to do all that you want with the placement. Yeah, boy, oh boy, he's so neat. This is really neat.
Really cool.
I didn't get into Venom until pretty late in the game of the comic world of it.
Oh, that's too bad. I was there from day one.
But yeah,
I was just talking to Paul. I was just talking to Paul before the show, and I shared with him that that sometime around the mid '90s, I was sticking mainly to independent comics, and Vertigo and whatnot. I walked away from the big two superheroes scene and just went ahead and did that for a bit. It wasn't until like Brian Michael Bendis started doing the Avengers, and when Warren Ellis stepped in and did Iron Man with Extremis, that I really came back into superhero comics. And when I came back with a vengeance. I had a lot of catching up to do. Yeah, so I skipped Venom until the most recent run of Donny Cates writing and Ryan Stegman doing those extraordinary pencils. He developed his style pretty nicely into something for that book that resembled a lot, in my opinion, the early pre-code horror comics, or at least that's the vibe that I usually get. That just crazy, those crazy like tendon-laden, just very gaunt facial features on a lot of the people. That just kind of lend itself to something more horrific by design. So yeah, really have enjoyed Cates' run. I actually still have to wrap it up between moving and everything that was going on in my life at the beginning of the year. I fell behind. I haven't even read The King in Black yet. But I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got a lot.
So that is the special edition. You're putting the special edition head on him?
I'm putting, right now, I can, the tendrils, before I did the third one, I wanted to show it off here. The tendrils themselves will have one flat side on that interior peg that's right here.
Right.
And when you key it in, you're going to see that same shape. All right. Cool. So
I love how they're just exploding out of his back.
It's just exploding.
Right,
I have not, I haven't even, done them as a bend or anything like that. So,
I haven't had my hands on this guy, as you know, but I have had opportunity to spend time with the Venom Pool, Sixth Scale Figure by Hot Toys. And spoiler alert, there should be a forthcoming How to Be a Poser on that one. Hopefully, I'm not giving away too much by saying that, but so you can look forward to seeing that in the near future. But I was really struck by how much fun those tendrils were. And actually, when I first saw them in the box, I didn't know they were flexible. I was just like, well, they gave us spikes. That's cool. But so when I figured out that they were flexible, it just kind of took the whole figure to a whole other level, just a whole other opportunity of things to explore insofar as posing is concerned.
So that is right out of the box, no bend at all. You can see those things are going.
That looks great. I've put that on a shelf just like that.
Exactly. Like this, you are not going to get it in our famous IKEA case, because that's going to be way too deep, because those things are a little under 15. And this one here with figure, I'm going to guess is 16. So, but of course you are going to do the bend. I am using it on the stand there. I tightened the thing down. And that's just because, of course, so much of the weight is thrown to the back. Perhaps if I bend at the waist and do a little hip, I could even get it to, yeah. If you wanted, there you go.
Go ahead and
hey, is that pose number 2?
No, I was kidding. Yeah, you're not getting off that easy, dude. No, it's not over yet.
So
okay, so let's bend the hell out of these things, man.
All right.
I want the one that has the three tendrils coming out of it. Let's take that head and bend it to the front and just have it kind of coming over the top of his head and to the right.
Okay. Head here, up and over the right.
There.
Do you want it in front of his face, behind his face, or same? As though it's saying something in his ear.
I'm going to... I wish I had that here. That's so cool.
Did you catch the new episode?
That's a good start. Let's go ahead and move on to the other two non-headed tendrils. We're going to move that. Looks like there's one that's shorter than the other. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take that one and kind of have it coming over the top of his head.
Short guy up and over.
And then
We
the
got
other
a
one
lot
we're
of
going to
bend
have
on here, and it might be getting asked in the chats or not. Oh, am I worried that I'm going to bend these and do these too often that it's going to kind of screw it up? I'm not feeling that at all. I'm feeling that we're pretty darn good.
I'm feeling like that small head is whispering dinner recipes to him.
That's what I was saying. You didn't hear me because you were doing something where I said, "Have you got the new episode of Unsealed?" So okay, so this is up and over. That one's to the side. We've got the third here. What would you like done with triple play?
I'm gonna go ahead and have you bring that one around his head to the left, and a little bit lower, and not on the same level as the head is on the right. A little bit lower, because we don't want too much symmetry there.
Okay, I'm going to go
I like it's kind of slithering already. That's cool.
I'm going
That's
to go to
cool.
maybe a little under the chin. The one's the over, and the one is up over said head.
Good.
While
So
we've got that
left.
there, can you see how those are keyed in? How you push them all the way in, stuff spreads out to the side and links in pretty nice.
Cool.
So, all right, we've got another head under said arm. I just spun it to get it out of my way for the moment. That's the cool part.
So how many tendrils do we have left there?
We've got another two.
All right, so let's go ahead and swing one under one armpit and the other under the other armpit. Say that 10 times really fast.
One under the armpit, the other on the other armpit. Darn it! I didn't even get one.
See? Knew it. Knew it. You couldn't.
Darn it.
Awesome. Okay, so that's basically getting that started. That's cool.
Now, there is this other head. Now, I dropped it just down to get out of my way. Where would you like this character?
I think that's fine where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah, one's up high to the right, the other's lower to the left.
Wow. Jeez, now you just
And then we're gonna go somewhat similar to what we had before, Guy. I'm gonna go ahead and stand and oh crap! I didn't realize I hadn't plugged my headphones back in. But we're gonna go ahead and stand. I'm gonna go ahead and stand. And so you've got him with the sword thing going on. So we're also gonna do a little bit of a torso twist because he's gonna have his sword back, like he's getting ready to either swing or throw it. Your choice. But the other hand, instead of being up, is just gonna be out like this because we're gonna have him leaning forward on one foot. And I think for this it should be, I think it should be the right foot. Have him leaning forward, resting on his right foot, with his left arm just a little bit forward, and the right arm back like he's getting ready to throw. He's definitely in a charge, and getting ready to let fly, with tendrils and spiky sword thingies.
All right. What I'm doing, because I know I'm definitely going to want to do a little balance on here, is on the
definitely
stand.
use that stand.
Yeah, I loosened the clamp there, and we're going to get him in place, and then I will lift the stand to accommodate. So, any more bend in this front leg?
No, I think that's perfectly fine.
Right there.
Yeah.
Back leg. Back
I didn't want to go too crazy with it. For Venom, there's a lot. You can get a lot of cool action out of a Venom statue, out of Venom in the comic books and such. And I'm thinking that you can probably do some crazy stuff with this figure as well if you really put your mind to it. But I'm just playing with this in a way that I would want to play with it if I had it in my house. The first two poses basically would be a getting to know you kind of a thing.
This is. I mean, we try and what you and I do on the show, and I hope that most of the audience understands is we're doing things relatively quickly. This is such an exploratory thing, and that's the most fun. When you get this figure, I don't mind if it ships later or this and that. If I've pre-ordered it, I'm getting it, and I know that there's the eventual fun coming up to it. And so something like this, the discovery of it is pretty incredible for people that are fans of Venom, and particularly the Venom film. They're going to love on this. But if you're just somebody who enjoys sixth scale and this is unique and different and such a talking point piece. This can't be on a shelf or in your display and not have everybody go nuts.
Cool. Now let's go ahead and refine this just a little bit here. Yeah, because we're going to have that torso twist to the right, we're going to have to adjust his head to compensate because we don't want him looking straight out from his torso like that. So turn that head to the left.
Is this time to do a little...
I think it's time to do a head swap. Yeah. Trying to decide if that's the right tongue.
You can decide.
Yes,
This is giving
it's
a.
fine.
You decided it would be a right, a left, or a neutral. Now, both of the.
And again, I
The
also want that. I
posable
also
heads are
want
neutral.
that. I also want that sword arm back, like he's getting ready to throw it. Right now, it's almost like he's doing a presentation. So let's go ahead and drop that arm, and get it back.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
Dropping arm, getting back, tendril. And give this even more bend. Work.
I'm wondering if we shouldn't have had the right foot forward, but
I can right foot it. Do you want me to right
yeah,
foot forward?
yeah. Swap those legs for me. Cool. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Awesome. Yes, I think that is much better. In fact, yeah, that totally helped. Okay, can we spin it around really quick so I can get a look-see?
No, I'm getting a look-see.
Oh,
I'm really having a great time.
You wait your turn.
I am really having a good time doing the tendrils. There's a lot going on with that.
All right.
Look at that.
Yep.
It's just
Okay. I think it looks good. And I'm just based on what I'm looking at right there, I think you could even, now if you want to step aside, guys, so we can get that awesome alone shot there. But that solo shot. But I think that what I'm seeing here, you can probably go even more dynamic with the leg posing. I was a little hesitant to do that for a couple of different reasons. One, I just didn't want to put my body in that position. Actually, that's really the only reason. I'm feeling a little. I might have hurt my back over the weekend, so I'm feeling a little bit unconfident in
how dynamic did you want to go?
Oh no, that's fine. I was thinking maybe if we could like get that leg up, like really up. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's cool. All right, yeah. And then maybe drop that back foot off the stand. Yeah, to compensate if that's not going to create too much of an issue with the stand itself.
Not really.
Yeah, I think that's already looking better. Oh yeah, that's good. That's really cool. I'm looking at him from behind, and I can already tell that it's going to look awesome.
What's wild is I'm just kind of using that stand for him to lean slightly back.
He's almost standing on his own, right?
Yeah, he's almost standing on his own. I'm just doing that as a safety more than anything else.
Yeah, just cheat it. Just have him lean up against it. That's a perfectly acceptable means of supporting your figure.
Yeah. Definitely get wild with this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, I mean, he can do some wild stuff.
Yeah, I think so. Awesome.
You can get as crazy as you like.
All right, cool.
And
yeah, as soon as you feel comfortable with it, man, just leave him there and step aside so that our camera guys can
walk
get
away?
our solo shot. Yeah.
Leave my toys unattended? I don't know about that.
Oh, I do it all the time. I leave my toys alone in the house with 2 dogs. One of whom is pretty rambunctious and a bit of a parkour artist as well. So.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah, dude, he's got some skills. Most definitely, Dobby does. A little Schnauzer Pomeranian mix that has parkour abilities and also likes to tear the hell out of things. So, yeah, that's looking really cool. While we're talking about symbiotes, again, I just want to remind everybody that on Thursday we're going to have a bonus episode of Unsealed and Revealed, in which there it is, unsealing and revealing Venomized Groot. I actually have one of these in my house, so I'm going to get to play with Guy for a change.
Ooh,
so
really?
that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, dude, we're going to get to play with the same toy from across the miles.
I didn't know you had this yet.
I do have this. I just got it like a day or two ago. It's it's hot off the presses for me, man. It's brand new in my collection. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. So we can almost kind of do it together. I guess I've waited this long. I guess I can wait one more day.
That'll be fun.
Think so?
That's going to be a lot of fun.
Wow, that looks good.
It really, really does. And that's I'm going to have so much fun. I've got a very, very awesome concept video in mind for this, for the Venomized Groot. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to feature Grogu. Okay, while we're talking about figures that are coming up, we have on Tuesday, next Tuesday, we will be featuring on Unsealed and Revealed the Incredible Hulk from Avengers Endgame. That's right, Professor Hulk is going to be making his debut on the show, and I'm really kind of excited about that because he's got an Infinity Gauntlet, and I love any figure that has an Infinity Gauntlet. Might be a considered low standard, but who the hell knows? So, and with that, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks everybody for tuning in and for being patient as Guy dealt with this parasite before the show got started. We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much, and appreciate you, Guy, for handling it like a champ. Thanks as always to Paul for fielding all the questions and managing things in the social media realm. And to all of you, thanks again for tuning in. Also, all of our producer team there at the Sideshow campus. Thanks, guys. Michael, Alan, Sam, dude, you're a rock star. Appreciate you. And until next time, don't forget to let your geek side show.
Boom. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.